In most of these villages, we don't dare stop. While no longer fully controlled by the government, the regime's spies still lurk. And we're snaking our way towards a facility the government most certainly does not want us to see. A site that multiple sources on the ground say is where the Assad regime produces chemical weapons, a place called the Scientific Research Facility. To the southeast of Aleppo lies the town of El Safire. On its outskirts, a sprawling factory, manufacturing anything from containers to long-range missiles. This is as close as we can get before we hear an aircraft overhead and quickly leave. To the southeast of that, according to our sources, is the Scientific Research Facility. From here, we can see the outermost perimeter of the General Research Facility, and the fighters are telling us that it is amongst the most heavily guarded areas where they are operating. The village right below it, that is filled with government loyalists, so this is about as far as we can go. Abu Ubaida commands the Dir al-Shahba brigade that has fighters surrounding the facility, tasked by his commanders with isolating but not attacking it. The regime might take extreme actions if we try to assault, so we're just militarily choking it off, he tells us. On all sides, it is surrounded by rolling hills. We're being escorted by a defected soldier who worked on the inside and a rebel fighter from the area. We've agreed not to reveal their identities. At one point, between the two hilltops, a man-made barrier. We have to be very careful filming through here, but visible on the side of the mountains are what rebel fighters with us are telling us were the former positions that government troops used to occupy. Since the Free Syrian Army moved into this area, government forces have pulled further in, closer to the facility itself. This man was recently captured by the rebels. He says he led a unit whose job was to patrol part of the perimeter. Artillery units are positioned on the hilltops. He agreed to be interviewed if we disguised his identity and his voice. He says that soldiers like him were constantly searched, their calls monitored, forbidden from seeing people who entered the main building. They arrived escorted by armed guards, concealed from sight. It was even forbidden for us to ask about it. If we did, we were punished, he tells us. They were under orders to shoot to kill anyone who approached, even a civilian, within 300 meters. He says that around 5 months ago, regular employees stopped arriving. And what I overheard is that those who were allowed to leave were Syrians, and those inside were foreigners. We saw large quantities of food still being delivered, he says. Defectors have previously told CNN that Iranian scientists have often worked here. There's no way to confirm that. Portions of the complex are underground. The hilltops have tunnels as well. Guarded, we are told, by up to 5,000 soldiers. The fear of chemical weapons has further traumatized people. In Aleppo, Dr. Hamza says he began requesting precautionary supplies 6 months ago. Some atropine has arrived, but no chemical suits. You're going to make your own chemical suits?
Yeah, we try to do that right now. We have like 2 pieces, 2 chemical suits, and the studies about them and to make them.
Your own?
Yeah, exactly. Because we tried a lot to get chemical suits, but till now we couldn't.
At secret sites around the city, he says, medical teams will be provided with atropine and training in case government forces resort to chemical weapons. But in reality, people can do little more than pray that Syria's war doesn't lead to such a catastrophe. Arwa Damon, CNN, Aleppo province.